Right, so continue to shine a spotlight here on Women's Month here on the SABC. Next up, Rethabile Moshoeshoe-Molapisane joins us, recognized not only for her academic excellence in pharmaceutical sciences, but also her tireless advocacy, especially in her leadership in exposing substandard and falsified medicines. Also work with community, supporting families of children with autism through Reach Resources. And so on that note, Rethabile joins us to chat a little bit more about her journey. Good morning. Thank you for your time and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I know that you're soon to be doctor, and so as those studies continue, you're edging closer there. If we look back and look at what first sparked your passion for combining pharmaceutical research with your public health advocacy, what sparked that for you? And ultimately, how did you manage to hone in on your specific work that you now embark on?
Okay, so I've always been very interested in public health, but where I started, because I come from Lesotho, there were not a lot of opportunities there to pursue public health. So, but slowly I started looking for opportunities to, move from, my first degree, which was biomedical technology, and find a way into that space. And I think I was, blessed enough to have, approached on the University of Technology. And on that particular, day, I met with Professor David Katerere, who runs a research group called Biotech Advancement, Pharmaceutical Advancement in Africa. And he focuses a lot on, practical public health related kind of research.
Yeah.
So that is how my journey started towards that. And the project that I got for my master's was, in assessing the legislative framework to combat pharmaceutical, the pharmaceutical legislation pertaining to counterfeit medicines.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that story is still evolving. You're working towards your PhD as well. But I just want to look at the realities on the ground as a woman in science and, dealing with advocacy as well. Talk to us about the obstacles that you would have faced, perhaps in academia, even just in community work, how you also managed to overcome those relations. There's expectations on the one hand, but, obviously you're influencing SAPRA policy as well. And this is to the benefit of our people. How do you balance that for yourself?
I think what really helps me is that I'm very purpose-driven, very goal-orientated. So irrespective of what is, going on in my life, I always find a way to achieve my goal.
Sure.
Being a young woman in academia was, it still is a challenging journey because it's about finding my voice and owning my voice. Yeah. And really just, trusting your gut, about something. If you feel like this is what, I want to do and this is the direction in which I wanted to go. So
and
Rethabile, that's kept me.
Thank you for speaking to that, because it's also about asserting that gut feeling, right? And so now that your research is recognized beyond academia, I mean, we've spoken about policy and regulation as well. Talk to us about Reach Resources and the work on that front. And really, when you're looking at how you're tackling aspects of neurodivergency, as well, the issues that come to the fore, incorporating indigenous knowledge systems, gut feelings as well. How's science merging with practical real-life experiences on that front?
So Reach Resources is a non-profit company that was established in 2019, but the work really started much earlier.
Yes.
And it really is birthed from lived experience, being a mother of, 3 uniquely gifted neurodiverse individuals on the spectrum. And so, when I realized that the journey had been difficult for me and I had a bit more information as far as science is concerned and my health background, I realized that I could be, a guide for someone out there. And that's really how the work started. So we go into communities to raise awareness, to, dispel the myths around stigmatization, especially pertaining to mental health in children.
Yeah.
So that is how I have, been able to translate, some of the knowledge that I have in the science space into community. But I'm also part of, for example, the UNISA annual conference that takes
Yes.
place every year, where we are having a policy dialogue, with different stakeholders to map a way forward for individuals that are living with autism spectrum disorders. There is a huge need for support and an action plan, as at least 270,000 young people have been diagnosed with autism currently in South Africa, and that's just a documented number. So we need to have a plan for our young people. Once they reach 18 years of age, they are out, back home, no plan. And at the moment, there really isn't a plan, even from government. So, that is what I would like to see going forward.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being so vulnerable and obviously sharing your own personal stories and using that knowledge to empower rural and township communities. Yes, it is about what that future looks like and being intentional about framing it, especially for, the most vulnerable. With that then said, I mean, your work is recognized. You're named amongst the 31 Women of Impact for 2025. And so congratulations on that. It's a big feat because now
Thank
you're
you.
asserting yourself, but obviously this recognition, it really just shows us the importance of science, communication, and also uplifting marginalized voices. And so when you received it, I mean, what did it mean for you? How does this also continue on your highlighting the plight of the most marginalized?
I mean, it's a huge encouragement. It's a huge validation to say, I see you, as a young woman, and also one that has had to overcome tremendous challenges. And the work that we've done so far, not just, with autism advocacy, but also in my own career, having forged a path that was not originally my own, and trying to find my niche there. So it really means a lot. I think, one of the things that I was thinking to myself was, this award is not just for me, but it is for every young woman out there who has faced tremendous challenges and has overcome. But it is also an encouragement to those that are in that place to say nothing is impossible, and your voice is valid, your dreams are valid, and they're possible.
Yeah, and I mean, even if we continue with the work that you're doing and looking at what's ahead, I mean, you've got your PhD, you've got REACH resources, the broader advocacy as well, postdoctorate studies. Tell us about that scale that you envision. But even if we're looking at regional policy shaping that, training community members as well, what does the future look like for you? Okay, let's see if we can just reestablish that connection with Rethabile. We're just obviously looking at her work that has now been highlighted, particularly when you're looking at autistic and neurodivergent advocacy, particularly in grassroots levels, townships and rural communities as well. The intention behind making science more inclusive and also just celebrating the feats, of her journey to date. And we're just looking at, what this also means during the month of Women's Month that we are highlighting here on the SABC. I believe that we have lost connection there, but the story's out. She has showed us and spoken to us really about her journey, and we're wishing all the best of luck. This morning, Rethabile Moshoeshoe-Molapisane sharing her thoughts, what inspires both her heart and mind, and just wishing her continued impact. All right, I believe, Rethabile, just before we wrap up there, you are back. We did lose that connection. I was just asking you about your future plans in terms of advocacy. Your PhD is there. What can we expect in terms of the collaborations, and what's your final message for women out there? It is the month of Women's Month that we are highlighting here.
I'm currently working on nutrition and, the use of traditional, indigenous plant-based, foods to, combat, issues like obesity and diabetes. So I'm looking at, influencing that space as far as policy is concerned. But I'm also looking at opportunities to, build a skills development center, or a hub for our young people that will not be in school, after 18, that are on the spectrum, just to, to raise more awareness on the need for inclusion. Autistic individuals are very gifted in many ways, and I think they deserve, an opportunity to be part of innovation and economic participation. And, in my final words, I would like to say nothing is impossible. Believe in yourself. You have a right as a woman to be in the room. Your voice is valid. If there is no room for you, create a room for yourself. If there's no table, create a table for yourself. And together, we can continue to, make the spectrum possible and harness collective power.
Oh, Rethabile, you're leading with heart and mind. Thank you. Thank you for your work. We see you. Congratulations, Azan. All the best for your future endeavors this morning. Rethabile Moshoeshoe-Molapisane joining us, obviously just looking at her work in science and what we can expect for the future. We're highlighting her journey this Women's Month here on the SABC.